What's good? What's good? Here we go. We got that EA Sports UFC 2 trailer, the second trailer to come out. This one is the KO Physics mode trailer. It shows off some of the awesome knockouts you can do, and of course, CM Punk, Phil Brooks, and some other stuff as well. So it's not just all about the striking. I'm going to tell you something. And you see, we get our first look at Dan Henderson, I believe, in the game. And of course, we got, you're gonna get your heavy dose of the man of the hour, Conor McGregor. Now, one of the things I think that people are really gonna love with this game, I think the stand-up is gonna be straight up addictive, just straight up addictive, because with some of the things that they've done from a physics standpoint during the stand-up battles are like gonna be like, you're gonna be, if you knock people out and score these exciting finishes, you're gonna be like, oh my god, you're just gonna want to play again. But then also, when you start getting your head flown yourself, it's gonna probably light a fire under you, especially if you're online. You're gonna want to go back at it again and again and again. So I think the stand-up's gonna be something that people really dig. I'm interested in seeing how the grappling has evolved, though. We see some stuff in this trailer, and you can check out the link to the actual trailer itself in the description. But we see some really seamless looking grappling, right? Now, what we have to wait and see is if this is truly the way everything is going to function in the final version, or if there's, something to it that makes it where you have to be maybe at a certain level of gameplay in order for you to get that type of grappling, because that's really all what I've always noticed to me in regards to the submission system. Submissions are a humongous part of mixed martial arts. Obviously, grappling itself is a humongous part of mixed martial arts. You cannot have an MMA game without dealing with that part. Now, they do have something called knockout mode, which is going to be no grappling, all stand-up battling and just trying to knock somebody out. They do have that, but true MMA has got to have the ground game, right? But I think one of the things that EA has struggled to do is to find the balance. And I think it's not even just EA, just period. MMA games, period, have struggled to find the balance between what's too complicated and what's too simple. I actually think that erring in the way of making it simple is probably better, but I don't think that approach has ever really been taken. It's not going to be taken this year either. I'm pretty much, you guys can bet on that. It's not. I don't think it's going to be super complicated like maybe some previous years, but I do think it's a good thing to make it where if somebody takes the time to actually learn a specific aspect of a game to a point where they can almost make themselves like an expert at that part, I think you should reward them. So if I take the time to make myself a beast on the ground, I should have a clear advantage over somebody who has just been fly by night with the ground. So I do believe that. I've always found it too hard to get a submission victory. Like, I'm not horrible at the game, and I never beat anybody in EA Sports UFC unless they drop the controller or something like that by submission. It's just a lot of parts to it. So we'll see how that works. But as we talked about with the last trailer, I mean, visually, this game is silly. I mean, just silly good. Just silly good. I mean, just look at some of the look at this. I mean, and keep in mind, you're getting motion blur on some of these screenshots. I mean, crazy. And then when you also think about, like we talked about before, the size of the roster, bananas. And some of these screens that are coming up are going to be catching some of the grappling sequences. And I'm going to tell you the truth. I mean, like, guys, I told you, I've had a little bit of an opportunity to play the game a little bit. Man, you look at some of these grappling screens that are going to be coming up. I mean, man, one thing that cannot be fronted. I mean, you cannot lie or fabricate some of this stuff. I mean, and I'm not implying that there isn't any lies, but whenever we see a trailer, you always know that anytime you see a trailer for a video game, the best is being shown, right? So if there's any issues or anything in between there, those are obviously not going to be shown. So I always keep that in mind anytime I see a trailer. But what can't be hidden is the fact that if you've played the earlier games, you're going to see some screens that I captured here of grappling sequences that were absolutely not in the game before. You know, just different things you can do. It just seems like, I always thought with some of the older EA game or some of the older MMA games that you would skip scenes or skip animations and jump from one position to the next position without the proper without the proper animations representing the transitions. But you know, if you look at some of this stuff here, you're gonna see what I mean. Now, that screen that I just had up was one of probably the most impressive. You're gonna be able to have full control over the head movement, 360-degree movement of the head. Do you know how, first and foremost, to do something like that shows that the developers have absolute confidence in their physics, because they're like, okay, if you move your head here and you dodge that punch, you dodge the punch. That's just what it is. It missed, and there's no, you know, no funny business there, you know. So you can't have like arms and stuff going through heads if that's supposed to work properly, right? Now, what I really hope is, and this is how you really know, well, not necessarily, because actually sometimes games do this and it's not tight. I was gonna say you really know a game is really confident in their physics situation when they give you a really in-depth instant replay. And so I just thought about it. That's absolutely not true, because you know, you'll see clipping in just about every sports video game, and you go through the replay, you'll see it. But in this game, look at that sequence there with John Jones. That was absolutely not in the game before. But if you're replaying this game, and I hope it has a really good instant replay. I can't recall from the times I touched it, and it may not even been put in yet. But I really hope that they have an instant replay system that allows you to go back through different points of the fight to see how shots missed. Oh my God, that would be so ridiculous. But that head movement thing, and I know I keep harping on this, I keep saying it, and I'm gonna keep saying it until they make another one. But it continues to inspire me about what the next boxing game could look like, or what a boxing game on next gen could look like. If you move in your head that way, and if you go click the trailer when you get it, when this video is over, absolutely watch the trailer in fast motion, and you're going to see TJ Dillashaw moving his head, dodging the punches from Uriah Faber, and just imagine that being, you know, like Amir Khan moving his head against punches from Keith Thurman or something. Oh my God, it could be pretty amazing. But even in this game, you know, which is obviously a combat sports game, it could be just amazing. Just amazing. And like I said, I really hope that there's an instant replay suite in there to really to highlight this beautiful, potentially beautiful aspect of the game. Because if the physics are tight enough and I'm slipping punches, man, to be able to go back and look at how I slipped a punch, that's only going to make it just that much more gratifying for gamers who are actually playing the game. So if for instance, I'm going to tell you right now, the stand-up is beautiful. Okay, just you guys know that and understand that. Stand-up game is great. If everything else from a gameplay standpoint is on point, which I believe people are gonna love the gameplay. I do. But obviously we don't know everything about modes. We don't know everything about online functionality. A lot of things we don't know, you know. But if those aspects of this game come together, it could be really one of probably the top 3 to 4 sports video game releases of the year, if all of those things come together. So it's really going to be interesting to see how it shakes out. Like I told you before, talking about the ultimate team aspect of the game, I am just not sure how that's going to work. People want to open packs, and they want to open a pack and get Cain Velasquez and John Jones, a gold version of John Jones, or they want to get John Jones, a weird, crazy heavyweight version of John Jones in a card pack. You know, they want to get the Conor McGregor version, the UFC 194 Conor McGregor, or the UFC 195 Robbie Lawler, or something like that. Those are the kind of cards I think that would really blow up in Ultimate Team. But we'll see. That's just my opinion. We'll see what happens, because people may love it as it is. From the description that I read here in the on the EA Sports website, if you go ahead and check that out, it sounds like, you know, it's going to be something where you're going to be creating your own stable of fighters. So we don't know exactly how that stable is going to come together, because nobody knows except for EA what the final look is going to be like. But it's definitely enough to be excited. Like I said, visually it's amazing. So I can't wait to get my hands on a full copy. I appreciate you watching. God bless. Peace.